Welcome back to Living Local. The 2019 outdoor season has sprung for the Freight House Farmers Market, but not without some challenges thrown their way because of flooding. Multiple vendors, including Streets of Italy, have also been battling the overflowing Mississippi River, but are finding an outpouring of support. Joining me in studio, we have Mike Schaefer and Zack Slater with Streets of Italy. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Sure, yes, thank you for having us.
So you guys have an incredible story, sad story, but this is, you guys were supposed to have your grand opening. You started as a mobile unit. We're supposed to have your grand opening, brick and mortar, and then the flood barriers broke the day of the grand opening.
Yes.
So walk me through what happened that day.
Well, that day, Zack, he's my right-hand man, so we called each other that morning because we had other stuff on our agenda. And we started to get our day going, and all of a sudden Zack calls me and says, "Hey, Mike, we need to go sandbag." Shift gears, and we ended up going down to the Great River down there. We were down there, we sandbagged, started at noon till about 3, a little bit after 3. And then we were all kind of done. We were gonna go sit down, kick back for a minute, relax, and I had to leave. So I left and I had to go pick up my son, and so I went, and pretty soon I'm driving up Brady Street Hill, and then...
Yeah, it was all of like 5 minutes, and I had called Mike, and I'm like, "Hey man, Wendy from Great River, she just poked her head in, and she said, guys need to get out of here. The flood wall the barrier had just broken in." So, you know, just kind of went into freeze, you know, just froze up and gathered my thoughts and head out, and, you know, had to unplug a few things, and, you know, it was crazy.
It's such a hard hit, especially since this was the grand opening for you guys. It had to be heartbreaking. But what's encouraging is to see all the support that you've gotten. So what kind of help did you get after this?
I mean, we had a lot of volunteers come down that day and help us sandbag, which was amazing because we got it done so quick. Like you heard, you know, the flood hit, or the barrier broke as soon as we sat down to take a break. So, I mean, while the sandbags didn't really last long, just because the flood rose so high, it was super helpful to have those people down there just as a last-ditch effort to, you know, kind of prevent the flood from coming up. But even after that,
yeah, we've had even the local support of the community, of the volunteers. You know, since then, people have been, you know, calling, and we've, you know, booked extra parties. We've actually, you know, done a lot of stuff like that, and there's so many things I can't really pinpoint it, but yeah, there's a lot of local support has been great. Very
right.
Great.
Yeah. And so obviously the brick and mortar is going to be on hold until the flood relief efforts and the cleanup is finalized. So you guys have a new motto right now. It's back to the street.
Yeah.
So tell me how you guys came up with that.
Well, we can kind of...
I mean, we just there's only one way to really continue and push forward through all this, and that is to do what we know. So we're going to pull both of our mobile units back out that we were kind of trying to wind back and do strictly catering, that sort of thing, you know, weddings, graduation parties, receptions, all of those sorts of things. We're going to do that, but included in that, we're also going to be doing public services, is what we call them. So that's back to the streets. We're going to be popping in Armored Gardens Kitchen. We'll be pulling up at some local breweries and that sort of thing to just kind of keep our name out there and let people know that that's a good way to support us, is to come out and buy our product.
And that is one advantage of being mobile, is that, I mean, it is devastating that the brick and mortar area has been under flooding right now, but at least you can get out, and a lot of other businesses don't have that option.
Yeah. For sure.
So what is the history behind Streets of Italy? I know you guys have been in business for about 5 years.
Yeah. The original owner, John Anderson, he lived over in Germany, worked for the Army Arsenal and stuff. He moved over to Germany, toured Italy a lot, learned how to do all the things we do here over in Italy, and moved back over here. And I've known him forever. And our paths crossed again, and I kind of laughed at him when he told me about what he was going to do. And I was like, I thought he was crazy. And I started working with him, and next thing you know, I was like, whoa, this was really cool, you know. And so I partnered in with him, so him and I were the mobile units together. First year we had one unit, and then we started doing the farmers market the second year, and so then all of a sudden we started growing. I'm gonna give you an idea. The first year we had 9 like private caterings, and we sold like 538 pizzas. Now today, last year I counted them up before I came here.
Yeah.
We had over 200 private caterings and/or setups, and then well over 15,000 pizzas or so. I mean, I can't even count the pizzas because it's been, you know. So anyway, so then shortly Then after 5 years, these guys that come working with us, they're the most loyal people I've ever had. I mean, I can't say enough about them. But anyway, they were like, in the winter, we only work 6 months out of the year. And so they would have to find other jobs. And then they keep coming back to us. And we're like, you know, we need to look at something a little bit more stable. So then the brick and mortar, we brought on a third party, Scott Florence. He came in and kind of helped us all, you know, so 3 of us together with getting the brick and mortar up. And here we are.
Oh, wonderful.
So, you know, there's a lot of negatives, but there's been so
Sure.
much positive around it. I mean, with the flooding is obviously devastating, but we all keep upbeat, and we're going to go back to the streets, and that's where we're at now.
They're back in the streets, you
Yeah.
guys, and that's the best way to support them right now until you can get those cleanup efforts underway. Well, Mike and Zach, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Of
Yes,
course.
thank you very much.
All right, to stay up to date on locations and the restaurant, you can find Streets of Italy on Facebook. Best way to keep up to date. We'll also have more details posted on ourquadcities.com. More Living Local continues right after this.